The Philippines has been at the forefront of the campaign to protect babies, mothers and their families. The revised Implementing Rules and Regulations, or RIRR, for the Milk Code were introduced by the Department of Health in July 2006 and almost immediately challenged by the pharmaceutical companies. In August 2006, the Department of Health was taken to the Supreme Court by the Pharmaceutical and Healthcare Association of the Philippines, or PHAP, with the allegation that the regulations were an unconstitutional restraint on trade. The court rejected a plea to put a restraining order on the marketing regulations. However, the president of the US Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Thomas Donohue, warned President Arroyo of the risk to the reputation of the Philippines as a stable and viable destination for investment if she did not re-examine this regulatory decision. And the restraining order was imposed 4 days after Mr. Donohue's letter. An international campaign was launched to expose the pressure on the Philippines government. This began when our IPFAN colleagues at a conference in Sweden, the What Next Forum, became aware of the US Chamber of Commerce letter, and participants at the conference put their names to a letter calling for restraint from the business community and an independent decision from the judiciary. Philippines groups Aragan and Piglas ng Kababayan called for mothers to attend a mass demonstration. Over 1,000 turned out with decorated umbrellas. Patty Rundle, the Policy Director of Baby Milk Action, and Elizabeth Sturken, Director of INFACT Canada, visited the Philippines in November 2006, giving media interviews on TV and radio, which broke through a virtual media reporting blackout on the issue. Campaigners in the Philippines began a petition. Baby Milk Action ran a petition of solidarity, signed by individuals, organisations and celebrities, such as actress Emma Thompson, which generated front-page stories in the Philippines and coverage elsewhere. Baby Milk Action showed examples of Nestlé's aggressive marketing practices at our annual demonstration at Nestlé UK headquarters in May. UNICEF Philippines launched a DVD exposing aggressive marketing practices and their impact.
Sitio San Roque in Barangay Bagong Pag-asa is one of the poorest and most populous communities in Quezon City. Like poverty, disease is common here. 2 years ago, 8 people died of dengue in San Roque. There are children with serious health problems. Many are suffering from respiratory infections, chronic malnutrition, and diarrhea. In urban poor communities such as San Roque, contaminated drinking water is a cause of illness among children. Even if they know they cannot afford infant formula. And despite the lack of clean water needed to prepare baby milk, mothers here are not inclined to breastfeed. They willingly spend what little money they have to bottle feed.
Kasi hiyang siya dun eh. Hiyang po siya sa lacto.
Buo na. Katulad ng gatas ng ina daw po. Yun ang inaano sa TV.
Right next door to Sitio San Roque is a government-owned children's hospital. Where promotional products from milk companies can be found in strategic locations. Like barangay health workers, the hospital and its personnel receive giveaways from agents of milk companies or med reps.
George Monbiot wrote about the attack on the regulations in The Guardian. A bare-breast protest was staged outside the Supreme Court on the last day of the hearings in June 2007 and caught the attention of the tabloids in the Philippines. Campaigners organised several mass breastfeeding events and entered the Guinness Book of Records. Finally, the court ruled. The industry had argued that the regulation is unnecessary and oppressive and is offensive to the Due Process Clause of the Constitution, insofar as the same is in restraint of trade. The court concluded the framers of the Constitution were well aware that trade must be subjected to some form of regulation for the public good. Public interest must be upheld over business interests. This is not the end of the story, however. There have been moves in the Congress and the Senate to replace the regulations with narrower, weaker legislation.